Good morning, you beautiful people. Quickly want to show you something. So a week ago or so I told you the story about these meat chickens that I gave away too. And as I was on holiday, the mom called me and said she is so tired of the chickens. Tommy, stand next to the chicken. Slowly. I'm going to show you the size of the chicken against Tommy. It is a giant chicken. Now these are the meat birds. There's one male and one female. And this is the egg that they were laying. It is a giant egg. Any case, so hopefully those babies, all of them who are still alive, will turn into these guys. Giant chickens. The giant meat chickens have been out in the cage for a couple of days. I'm letting them out today to see how they will scratch and do and how they will progress. This is the first introduction with the meat chickens, the giant meat chickens and the normal yard chickens. You can see the incredible difference. That young rooster, that young rooster doesn't know his size yet. So we'll have to probably split them to save them from one another. All the roosters fighting one another. But it's amazing to see the different sizes. You giant meat chicken. Let me get you up. Let me roll you over. Don't get a heart attack on me. Go be there. Those two are now fighting again. We are on a cleaning mission today. All the things like millions and millions of little things like this needs to be picked up and taught to be picked up. I've explained many times to the kids this morning the difference between plastic and organic matter, and so now we are picking up, see there, the rubbish. I say pick those things up here. While we separated the chickens, I realized that Cuddle Buddy has got white, I think it's a kind of mite on his legs. Now, my grandfather used to put old cooking oil on it. This cooking oil is maybe a little bit more dirty than I would have wanted. Okay, Imps, you can leave it. So the kids are learning how to treat that disease on the chickens. What happens when you put the cooking oil on the legs, the mites can't breathe and they just die and fall off. So it's a cheap and effective way of treating chicken mites without using any chemicals. So while I was away, there's quite a bit of progress that was made on the greenhouse. The only mistake that they made is they understood that the net has to come straight down instead of going sideways like that. So they're fixing that today quickly. The other materials, more materials is getting delivered today. So these guys are really making progress. They concreted in most of the anchors, these things, and so that these blocks will keep the net house from falling down. So we are approaching Manette's house quickly, and I want to show you the dream we have for this area and what we're currently doing about it, taking the people away from home or from the farm back home. Quickly want to show you here at Manette's house what our big idea is. Now let me show you quickly. Just want to jump out. So I really wanted to show you what's happening at Manette's place, but just as we got out of the car, Ims, why did you organize the rain like this?
I was praying nice.
You were praying nice.
You need rain.
Enzo, what are you doing? Why are you, when I'm coming to work, you are organizing rain?
Moremi is dancing.
Moremi is dancing.
Yeah.
Moremi is a bushman. So when he dances, we get rain. So we've cut that roof to size there in the back, and they're busy adding the brackets. So we can put a gutter there and there. We'll probably have to wait for this rain to pass so I can make the rest of this video. So as quick as the rain came, so quick it went away. We were hiding in the car. Okay, but let me show you. All of this water could have been in a garden now. This is 10 minutes of rain. All of this could have been in gardens, feeding trees and feeding things. Let me show you our giant plan. So let me jump on the back of the car quickly. Fiona and Brendo is dreaming about this. Then we recently got a donation from Chris de Brillen as well, and Cherokee, and there's so many people that's helping make this a reality. And so this is the township. This is Manette's house. Manette feeds 30 kids on a daily basis basically, and so she's got a couple of shacks. She's got that shack there, that shack there, that shack there. And so our plan is to make this whole place, turn it into a permaculture village, you can almost say. And Manette has bought in. The ladies are already working on the farm and learning. Some of these kids are already on the farm learning. And so what you see is roofs, and the roofs capture water. And our plan is now to, let me maybe jump down and walk to the back. Let me just jump off here quickly. Our plan is to build one system here, right here, to capture the water from there. But that roof might be too small to fill up the tank. So we want to use all of these roofs combined, and then have them run into a water tank. And check Manette's garden's coming along well. So we cut this off straight, and then we add brackets, those brackets that Enzo was holding in his hand, and we add from there, we add a gutter down here, it goes all the way here, and then from here we put a water tank here. The gutters, some of the gutters are coming along this roof. They've cut now straight, started to add the brackets for the gutters. And so add a water tank here. We connect that below the ground to the water tank in front, and that fills up. One of the things that I see might be a bit of an issue is that our water tank might be a little bit higher than the roof, so we might not be able to fill it up completely. One of the things that we as a community are discussing and considering is building water tanks. And that way, if we can find a cheaper way to build a water tank, then you can build a lower water tank, and that's wider. A lot of these roofs are quite low, and so then you can build a wider tank. It can still hold 5,000 or 10,000 liters of water in there, but it is a little bit wider. That might be a great idea. Right, so that's the one thing. Then, as you can see, there's quite a lot of surface runoff. We are talking about adding African smile, so you would ideally, for instance, before the water runs into the neighbor's land, add an African smile there. Those half moon pits and berms, and then plant a tree there in the middle. Harvest all of this water that's now currently run off. You do that with all of that. Are all of you ready to go to Imsa's house? How are we gonna go? Because the car will not take everybody. Are we gonna walk? Sharp. I'll see you there. Okay, so they're gonna start walking while we're still here, and then we're gonna go and feed these kids quickly. What I want to show you, maybe I'll do this over a aerial footage. There's a river coming down there, and along that you can also add millions of African smiles and harvest a lot of water. Not in the floodplain itself, in the flood itself, but right next to the river, in the green belt. You can add a lot of African smiles and a lot of trees. And then once you have one greenhouse, one green family, then you can add more. This house, for instance, isn't going to be that difficult to incorporate. there's a very strong fall towards the side. You can easily harvest this water. And then you have this family involved as well. Same with that family, same with that family, same with that family. All of these families can get involved. And Ims and I was just sitting in the car, mechanic Ims, and I explained to him what we're thinking. And I'm saying, you know, one family can feed 2 laying hens, for instance, with the scraps from their kitchen. And then that manure can go into the compost, that compost can go into the tree. And you create a little ecosystem just around that house. But once you do that with the next house and the next house and the next house, then the magic starts happening. Then things start happening very, very quickly. So we're going to do this one house, and hopefully we'll have enough money to do the next house. And then hopefully people will get involved, and we might be able to do the next house and the next house and the next house. And if we can keep on going, we might turn this whole township into a whole permaculture village. And we are exploring cheaper ways to do it. We are Brenda said, you know, if we can't get them water, we can't create something for them. We want to create a consistent way for them to have water. Very, very important. So I see a lot of them decided not to walk, and so that's my life. Let's go give them some food quickly. I think that's where all of them wants to be. Okay, and then we are continuing on one of our other projects. Also thanks to Fiona and Brendo. And I quickly want to show you what has been done here and what is happening here. So Ims has got a shop here that was mostly done by Mikon. Changed the shop into something viable. The kids are gathering slowly for the meal. They are still waiting for the ones that they couldn't get on the back of the bucket. I didn't want to overload it. But we started, maybe I should show you first how Im's system is working so far, and then what our plans are for the future. So Ims has only recently planted these vegetables, but what we're doing here is the water runs from his neighbor in there, comes here, hits this African smile here, and feeds that tree, and I think there was another tree, but I think it maybe got cold. I have to check. And that plant there, in any case, he's got some veg that he had some veg there that he planted. That let that go. This is a marula, and that's a marula. And then the water, once it overflows, fills this one. It overflows and it fills this one. There's a little basin there, so we can just gather more water. And then that waters that mulberry tree, that fig tree, that marula tree, and that lemon tree. And so we recently started putting up a fence. So those bladed fence, I want to just get my focus in. If my finger is in front, it doesn't show. They've gone to there, and now we are continuing there. Ims has got a plan with what he wants to do with that fence there. He doesn't want to have the blades there. He only wants the blades up to there. But there's blades on this side, and this is now because his chickens got stolen not too long ago. Somebody stole his chickens. In any case, so this is what we have done, and then we also in the past installed a water harvesting structure for him. Sorry, I quickly want to show you something cool. So his shower water comes from there, and then it runs into this thing. This is like a pit, two drums deep, and it just collapsed a little bit now with the rain. 2 drums deep, and his shower water falls in there and it dissipates, and he's going to plant trees around that, or the water might even water these mulberries one day, depending on what he does now. But the water goes straight into the soil, it doesn't go to waste. Okay, let me show you. And now the sun is coming through like crazy. Okay, so in the back, when I first started, I built him this tank. This was one of my big projects. Back then, this was considered a giant project for us, and it was expensive. That tank, you would not believe it, was as expensive as this one. And we used recycled bricks and etc., etc. But you have a couple of issues with a built tank. The great thing is you can determine the height of a built tank. So our roof here, the height was determined by the height of this roof here. You can see that's almost flat. That's why this tank was so low. And that is the best thing about building a tank, is that it is, you can determine the height. But dollar per liter, it works almost the same as a plastic tank. It works out almost the same as this one. This one is a lot more effort, and there's always a chance that it's leaking, but it's permanent, which is fantastic. Anyways, okay, so we added we catch all this rainwater, and I think he would gather about 40,000 liters a year if I did my math right. And so he just received a little bit of rain now. Let's see if there's some water coming out. Yep, there's some nice water there. So our plan is then to connect this one through there, like that. Once those two are connected, we will then take a pipe from this one. And so the height, yeah, we hope that the height will work out here from the roof. Looks like it will. We take a pipe around here, and then I want to change something here and try and see if I wanted to put the water tank here in the front of his yard, and then I said to him we can install the taps in his house or outside of his house on this height here, like windowsill height, if you can look at that, and then the first bit of water will run and we can use that until that runs out, and then we'll have to use a tap that's at the bottom of the tap that's at the bottom of the tank. He said, okay, cool, that sounds great and everything, but his dream is to turn all of this into a garden. To close that gate up completely, this needs to be all garden, and then put his gate over here. So he asked if we cannot rather place the tank over here. So that is our new plan. That is what we're going to do, and then we'll see how we can help him put a gate in here and turn all of that into a vegetable garden. He still has his chicken coop, I think. There's a little chicken coop here. We had some laying hens in here, and then one night they got stolen, which is a very sad story. He's got a worm tower in the back here. Let me dig quickly and see if there's some worms that we can find. It's always, oh, there you go. There's some worms. Always when you're videoing, then you don't get them. So I see, I think it looks like there's quite a lot of, there's some roly-polies and there's a worm there. So he's got a worm tower here. Maybe we'll find a little bit more worms in here. There you go. Look at that. Beautiful compost. So his worm system is working nicely. You can harvest worm tea from down there. Alvin Dude's worm drum system. There's some free plans in the description if you like to build something like this. You add compost on top. It goes fills up. The worms start moving up. I say compost, biomaterials. Add that to the top. The worm starts moving up, and then at this stage, you can then start harvesting compost from the bottom door. But the whole time you can harvest worm tea from that little cloth hanging out there. I'll add free plans in the description. As we were about to serve the food, it started raining, so now we're making a plan inside of Imsa's house. It's softly raining outside, just enough to bother somebody not to be able to eat on the outside. So everybody is gathered in this one little room. 30 kids. 30 kids in one room, each getting a meal. Okay, so behind every successful man, there is some successful women. And for Brendo, it is Gwen and Judy. So Judy is his mother and Gwen is his grandmother. And so the two ladies, thank you very much for raising such a wonderful man. He gives me a hard time on a daily basis, teaches me new things. So I really appreciate your influence in his life. I'm sure his wife has also got big influence in his life, but definitely the two of you. And so This video was in honor of you, and I really wanted to show you something.
Thank you, Gwen and Judy.
I cannot tell you how much we appreciate this. Thank you so much. Sorry, the rain is still on my glasses. For now, I think that's going to be the end of my day, end of my story. Hope you have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow.